Things Podcast. Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things Podcast, where we talk about toys, movies, music, and all manner of pop culture dorkery. I am your host, Dave, and it's time for this month's Needless Commentary. Very excited because it was Ladies' Choice this month, and our pal Battle Cougar Nicole picked Dead Alive. She's going to talk about that. We're all going to talk about that as we watch our own personal copies of Dead Alive. Now, if you're listening to this at some point in the future, maybe you already have the 4K restoration, or is it 2K? Anyway, Peter Jackson's working on restorations of Dead Alive and Bad Taste, and they're not out yet. But we wanted to go ahead and watch this movie, so we're just watching our janky old DVD. And if you're living in the future where you have access to the glorious high-definition Blu-ray or 4K or whatever ends up coming out, good for you. You're getting a much cleaner, crisper picture than we are, and you can probably see the fishing line even better. But anyway, we had a great time watching this movie. It was after last month, my pick, Hunt to Kill. After last month, it was a nice return to form for everyone, I think. Unfortunately, our pal Arian had to work, but our continually difficult work schedules and film schedules and everything else schedules are just tough to line up lately. So we next month, again, I'm not sure what our schedule is going to be, but I do already know what we're watching, and it'll be interesting. I am curious to see how that one goes. It's our pal Ryan Cadaver's pick, and I love the movie, but we'll see how a commentary goes on it. So anyway, Dead Alive today, this month. Got a lot of other things going on, though. Last weekend, I had one of the most just fun, relaxing weekends I've ever had. Me and Phantom Jr. ended up hanging out pretty much just all weekend. Friday night, I got kind of a need for I had pre-ordered the Corvus Glaive and Loki Marvel Legends 2-pack from Walmart because it's a Walmart exclusive, which is generally the only way I will buy toys from Walmart is if I have to. And, you know, Hasbro, in their infinite wisdom, packaged a repaint of Loki in with the essential character of Corvus Glaive, the final member of the Black Order that I needed. So I'm Jones, and when I'm building up teams, I really, well, I'm sure anything you guys collect, if you need the whole set, right? So I'm just, Corvus Glaive, and it was supposed to be here in the Phantom Zone on April 2nd, and the status changed from, like, preparation or whatever it is to delayed. So we're waiting. Friday night, I went to check on the status, and before I could get to my page, it popped up as one in stock at a local store. Now, look, you and I both know there's no way that's accurate. Walmart is the most laughingstock shit show piece of trash place on the planet. There's no way their online count of what's in their physical store is accurate. I don't believe it for a second. However, it's Friday night. I'm off. Me and Phantom Jr. just hanging out, doing nothing really. And I said, "Do you want to run to Walmart and see if they've got this thing?" He's like, "Sure." We run to Walmart. And, of course, the online count was not accurate. They actually had two there. Blowing my mind, so I bought one, got back home, and later that night, I got an email, because what I should have done, and what I normally do in situations like this, is once I've got it in my hand, but before I even ring it up, I go and cancel my order. But we were just having fun. We were wandering around Walmart looking at toys and whatever else. Look, I know I just equated fun with Walmart, but when you're hanging out with your 11-year-old son, you can go into Walmart and make fun of things and have fun, and it's okay. So anyway, of course, within hours of making this purchase, I get the notification that my order has shipped. My Corvus Glaive and Loki that had been delayed until that day, apparently, had shipped. So now I've got to take this thing back, which means I have to go back to Walmart, which is horrible. But the rest of my weekend was great. Saturday morning, we got up early. We went over to the record store to check out record store day stuff. Pretty much everything was gone when I got there, or most of the stuff that I wanted was gone, because a guy had showed up at 10:30 the night before to sit outside the store and wait, which is insane. And he's welcome to the Duran Duran and the Motorhead and whatever else I was looking for, because you know what? There's no way in hell at the age of 42 years young I'm going to camp out overnight outside of a record store so I can get some releases a week or so before I can just go online and buy them from Turntable Lab. Yeah. So anyway, we went in. I got a couple of things. I got a B-52s. I got Elton John Live. It was cool. It was good. And then we stuck those in the protective record crate I keep in the back of my vehicle. And we went to the Renaissance Festival in Georgia. And it's in Fairburn, which is south of the airport, which is very, very far away. But not really. I mean, it only took us like an hour to get there. It wasn't a bad drive. It wasn't one of those, like, if you get on 20, you drive forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and it's barren, desolate landscape, and you look down and you've only gone, it's been like 30 minutes. This was a pretty decent drive. It's easy enough to get there, and we had a blast. You never know. He had never been before, and you never know how an 11-year-old is going to react to anything. It may be stuff he thinks is cool, but if it's not presented right, or if there's just something that doesn't click, he may not be into it. So we get down there, and one thing that helps is there are people down there in costume, which he's like me. As soon as you see a bunch of people in costume, you're just happy. Just makes you happy. And he and I are both the same way in that. And then you get to the front, and they actually have the big, like, entryway, the Renaissance or whatever looking entryway that sets the stage. And I think once he saw that, he was like, oh, this is kind of a bigger deal. It's not just some tents and stuff, which, by the way, when I was younger, I feel like it was more tents and lean-tos. And we get inside, and this thing is like a legit village. They're buildings, and like it's wild. I don't remember it being like this, and it's been well over a decade since I've gone, because my wife hates it. So, it's one of those things you're like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. But we get inside, and it's just awesome. And yes, it's a giant market you pay to get into to buy stuff. But I had a couple of local brewery meads. We sat down and we watched these incredible acrobat sword juggler people do all kinds of awesome stuff. He was really into that. There was a magician whose name I cannot remember right now. I think it was Zoltar or Zoltan, but he was Zoltan the Adequate, something along those lines. And he called me up on stage to help him out with a trick, which of course was a lot of fun for me because I like being on stages. We wandered around. We bought a couple of things. We didn't go too crazy. And then we watched a little bit of the joust, but it was so crowded. I mean, it was opening day. It was so crowded, and it took a little while for it to get going. So we were like, you know what, let's go do something else. Let's spend our time a different way. And just had an awesome day. And then we get home, and I had already, because last Friday, the teaser trailer for Star Wars Episode 9 dropped. And if you want to, you can go to needlessthingspodcast.com and check out what me and our pal Chad J. Shonk thought about that trailer. It's the third. It's only the third. I can't believe I've only done 3 minicasts, but that's all we've done. But it's the newest minicast. We just talk about the trailer, and I had started going through the Star Wars movies again. But then when we got home Saturday night, Phantom Jr. had kind of decided, you know what, we've got some of these new Marvel Legends. Let's watch some Marvel movies. And I was like, well, do you want to start at the beginning? We had a discussion about whether the beginning was Iron Man or whether the beginning was Captain America, the First Avenger. We both decided that First Avenger was the first one we were going to watch. And we spent the rest of the weekend just watching Marvel movies and had a blast. It was so great. Just hanging out, having fun, playing with Marvel Legends and watching Marvel movies. And now we are continuing it. Last night we got through Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World. And if you follow me on Facebook, I'm posting these as we go. Although I will probably do a sort of ranking type thing on needlessthingspodcast.com this coming week. And one more thing before I wrap up this intro. I have purchased the domain name oldneedlessthings.com and am setting it up as just whatever remains of the old website. It's there. It's some of it's kind of messy, and I'm going to try and clean it up as I have time. But it's all there again. It's separate. oldneedlessthings.com. You can go and check out all the old toy reviews, all the old Dragon Con recaps, movie reviews, all of Beth's old stuff. It's all on there, available. You can go and it's clean. It's not just a big dump. It's pretty much like the website used to be. I took the ads out, I think, although I might leave an AdSense on there just to do it. But it's all there and sort of a separate entity, but there for people who want it, because I get that all the time. Hey, didn't you review this thing? And I'm like, well, yeah, but stuff's not importing. It's not working out. And I've kind of given up on WordPress importing the site. So, yeah, oldneedlessthings.com, needlessthingspodcast.com. And, of course, you can find the Needless Things Podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, wherever else. And now grab your copy of Dead Alive, because it is time to sit down with the Needless Commentary team and dissect Peter Jackson's greatest work.
I know it's just a boy who fell in love with a registered girl, but his mom forbidden to go out with her. Well, if this is my end on them, so much a rat looking to go by them. To her pleasure, does she have a curse? When your hell is here on earth, you know he's dead in love. Dead in love. Dead alive, the creature's coming after you. Dead alive, there ain't nothing you can do. It's dead alive. The region mom, the she came back, not the scientists cannot stop or protect. There's reasons in the graveyard and it's getting worse. A preacher's at the gig after the love, but he's a dumb ass love. This zombie hood later read on the kitchen table, now there's the deadness. When your hell is here on earth, you know it's dead alive. Dead alive. Dead alive, the creature's coming after you. Dead alive, there ain't nothing you can do. It's dead alive. Walking tries to move in on the web, but that is it too. A living now zombie baby's gone crazy and death is being served. You got somebody's blood on your face, lawnmower flying through air, guitar all over the place. This time mama's gonna get what she deserves. When your hell is here on earth, you know he's dead alive. Dead alive. Dead alive, the creature's coming after you. Dead alive, there ain't nothing you can do. It's dead alive. Dead alive. Dead alive. Dead alive. Dead alive.
All right, are we ready to discuss?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Phantomaniacs, I have worked 87 days straight, 12 hours a day. I get up at 1:30 in the morning, 2 hours before I go to bed. I'm really tired. But we're here now to watch. What are we watching, Nicole? It's your month. It's Ladies' Night. It's your pick.
It is my favorite movie of all time. Dead Alive.
Dead
AKA
Alive.
Brain Dead if you're not in the U.S.
Right. Well, but I think. Well, no. We have listeners in Scotland.
Well, then it would be Brain Dead.
We do.
Crikey.
We don't. Unfortunately, no. Stop. What is wrong with you?
And he comes out strong, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy, that's going to be one of those. I don't know that we have any listeners in New Zealand, but I bet after this we will.
Yes, because we're going to do New Zealand proud.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
Oh my gosh. Paul Hogan's not in this movie.
That's not a knife.
That's not a rat monkey.
That's not a zombie.
Okay, so for the listeners, how likely is it that they have a copy of Dead Alive?
Very unlikely.
Because it's tough now,
actually.
right?
It is really unlikely. It's like over $100 on Amazon. It's been out of print for a while. I don't even know where I got mine. Like, I mean, I've had mine for...
You've got the same deal
yeah,
I've got,
same
the
one.
DVD.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty shitty.
What we're
I've
going
had
to
it forever.
We're going to keep talking, but we're going to go ahead and play the movie. So you at home, get your if it's streaming, or if you've got a bootleg, or if you somehow...
the old VHS?
Yeah, if you've got the VHS, which I had at one point.
I had it too, and I have
know.
no fucking idea.
That's definitely how I first saw it.
But go ahead and hit play.
Like,
go ahead and hit play right now, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. Oh wait, we need subtitles.
We do.
What happened?
Do we?
Oh, you know what happened is my shitty PS4 remote went to sleep.
Okay, everybody.
Which is okay, though. We're going to turn those French subtitles on. Wait, we don't have English subtitles?
Are you kidding me?
Is that right?
Yeah, is it just Spanish and French?
Spanish and French is all we've got. So we have no
continuity, just cut on the French ones. We'll see what happens.
French subtitle. All right, let me find the subtitle button on this piece of shit remote. Which, by the way, Needless Things does not endorse this bootleg-ass PS4 remote. Have you got... No, Ryan, you said you just use the controller, yeah.
I've just gotten used to the controller for using it on my PS3 and everything. So
right.
I do wish I had the joy of that PS3
Oh,
controller.
English.
Oh.
English subtitles.
Oh, there we go.
That is not English.
But that's English, but that's not English.
The subtitles that are already in the movie are English.
Yeah.
But the subtitles being provided by this disc are I don't know what that is. Keva says best hole. I always like the best hole.
Okay.
I aim for the best hole. Gross. Gross. I mean, that's clearly about this movie.
I just mixed German and
yeah. You went
French,
super German.
Yeah,
that's okay. We'll keep trying subtitles. Meanwhile, Nicole, why don't you tell us about your relationship with this movie?
Oh, I mean, I don't even have like a great story. I just read about it.
That is also not English.
Yeah,
Amigo
I don't know.
mucho dinero.
I think it really is just
no,
French.
but he does say mucho dinero in the movie.
yeah.
That's the line is mucho dinero.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so that's probably English.
Maybe.
No, it's still French.
That's not French. That's Spanish.
No, I know, but it's like the rest of the words are French. He just Spanish in that one line.
Oh.
That's
well, no, Spanish and French were the options, though. So this is Spanish.
This is Spanish.
We'll leave it on Spanish.
I understand it better than French.
Parmesan? It's Italian?
This whole commentary is going to be
it's
us
just about
trying
cheese.
to read Spanish.
Yeah, we're gonna learn Spanish here with the audience.
It's good when you can't have the audience.
So anyway.
Yeah, I read about it. Like, I don't know if it was Fangoria. Probably Fangoria.
Fangoria. What was the other one though? Gorezone.
Yeah.
Gorezone was the other one. It was like not as good as Fangoria.
It was probably Fangoria.
But I think it was
one of those
Fangoria.
that I read a description of this, calling it the goriest movie ever made.
Which lots of movies received that description.
No, this is... I stand by the fact that this is the bloodiest, goriest movie ever made.
It's definitely up there.
I mean, if nothing else, just for the closing act.
Yeah, well, because this movie starts at like a 9 and then fucking amps up from there
Well,
to like a 30.
It could be subtitled, well, that escalated quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, and I forgot how quickly it escalated because, like we were talking about when we were watching it, I was like, all this shit that's happening right now, like in the first 10 minutes, like I thought happened like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, it definitely, because I haven't watched, I've owned it, like I said, I own the VHS, yeah. I've got the DVD, I just haven't watched it in a few years because I burned myself out on it. I watched it a lot.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's one of those ones that I'm really annoying when I watch it because, like, I know the lines and all that shit. But yeah, I just, like, as soon as I learned of its existence, I had to have it, and I think I got it on VHS.
Oh shit, this is it. I remember this cover. Look, do you remember the cover? It's the Dark Half cover, but Dead Alive was one of the features.
I'm pretty sure that's where I heard about it the first time.
I totally remember that.
And, like, I watched this movie, and I was like, this is my favorite movie of all time, and it always has been. Like, any of those little stupid, so you guys can, like, steal my life, if you want to know, like, the answers to, like, my secret questions on websites. It's always like, what's your favorite movie?
Well, this
fun.
This was, I won't say it was my favorite, but when I saw this, because it came out in 93, I think, and when I saw it, Evil Dead 2 was far and away my favorite movie. And there's a lot of influence of the first two Evil Dead movies.
Oh yeah.
In this.
So it definitely has like that wackiness of 2.
Yeah, it has, well, and also the way the gore happens. And what's funny, though, is we already talked a little bit about the end of the movie and how it's just over the top. And at the
there's no way to even describe it.
Well, no, there's not. There's not at all.
There's nothing like this movie.
When I first saw it, that was over the top. But now, watching it again, the stuff leading up, like, it's so much, like, that almost, you're desensitized by the time that's happening.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So the lead-in, to me, is more upsetting.
Yeah.
Like, and just foul.
This movie, and we'll talk about it as it happens, but, like, this is one of the few movies that, like, I have to turn away from this movie, like, 10 times.
I was surprised on our first run-through when you were, like, covering your eyes a couple of times.
No, there are several things that I just would rather not watch. And I've seen this movie 50 times. Like, like Sean was saying, like, if you come over to my house and we're having a party and I need background stuff, that I put this on. Like, I fucking adore this movie. But there's a couple scenes where I'm like, oh, nope. No, I have a thing with teeth. I can't watch teeth.
I do remember we were having a party once, and like everybody's having a good time, just hanging out. And then the custard scene came on, and everybody in the whole fucking house was just like, "Oh God, turn it off, turn it off."
Well, they used
to ruin a party.
When I worked, and I didn't remember this until just now. When I worked at the Masquerade, when they would do the Gothic Industrial Night, they would play this. It looks like a model.
It's a model. I'm sorry. Go on.
The plane was a model as well.
There was one shot of the plane that was very clearly a model. But they would play this on Gothic Industrial Night because they had TVs all over hell in the Masquerade, and there would be like some of it would be like 9 Inch Nails videos or whatever, MTV Industrial blah 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 whatever the fuck it was. But then like a third of the TVs would be playing this just all night on repeat.
That's awesome.
And why wouldn't it?
Right.
It was fetish
I feel like
night.
it's perfect.
It's a fun movie. You don't even have to have audio.
I think Red Ranger kind of wants to fuck a rat monkey.
I mean,
that's a little squishy.
Oh.
Good God! I don't know. It looks kind of crusty and hard to me.
Yeah.
No, once she pops its head open,
well, yeah, that's pretty squishy.
There's a lot of
we're
warm.
all squishy if you pop your head open.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
everything's squishy if you try hard enough.
So, Red Ranger, had you? Like, you've been around this movie, but have you actually watched it?
Like, I've never actually sat down and like, I need to watch this now. It's more like I'm drinking it right in Nicole's and it's on.
Yeah. And so you'd seen bits and pieces and are like, man, some of that movie's really gross, but did you realize, like, the whole thing was just vile?
I mean, I'd been told. Like,
that, it's got a reputation.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is going to be
and if you get about 3 drinks in me and want to talk about Dead Alive, like, I'll be like, sit down.
Right.
I'm going to tell you about the whole movie.
Time to learn you about Dead Alive.
Well, this movie contains the secrets of the universe.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say. That guy's shirt contains some of the secrets of the universe. It's some of the secretions of the universe.
There are so many secretions in this fucking movie.
His shirt is somehow zombie levels of gross and he's alive.
It is all.
Is he
just
really?
Like,
No.
Oh,
He's trudging
really
through life.
we have to mention we're down a commentary team member tonight because everybody's schedules have been so fucked lately. We kind of just had to do this tonight, and unfortunately, Arian is working. But in his place, we have sitting in the Sumatran rat monkey from Dead Alive. How are you doing tonight, Sumatran rat monkey? Awesome. We'll get back to you later with some of your thoughts on the closing scene. Cool. So, Ryan, what about you? What's your background with this one?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely saw this after Evil Dead and all that stuff.
Can I tell you what a shithead I felt like when we were talking about it earlier? And like, I just because of the timeline we were establishing, I was like, well, I saw it before you saw it. But it was just because I'm fucking 10 years older than you.
I didn't say that at all.
Like you were 8. You were like 8 when I saw this movie.
You little
It would have been totally inappropriate.
Yeah, if you had seen this movie at 8, that would be fucked up. Like,
Jesus
this movie is
Christ.
fucked.
We know your dad let you watch some shit, but let's hope.
The awesome thing, though, is there are dudes your age that would have been like, I saw it before that.
Oh, totally.
I saw it in the womb.
Right?
Yeah, I've met some of those dudes.
I am the baby in this movie. That's me.
You know how he's a grown man occasionally throughout it? Yeah, that's me.
That's me.
So anyway, you saw it after...
I saw it...
Well, you saw it after Lord of the Rings was out,
the
right?
first Lord of the Rings had come out.
So that's a very different experience, because this is, like, when I saw it, it was the newest thing Peter Jackson had out. There was no, like, Lord of the Rings or King Kong Peter Jackson.
This was
so
like
you
more
got the
like,
reverse.
Yeah, this was more like, holy shit, have you seen the horror movie that the Lord of the Rings guy did?
Right.
It was like that.
Oh, shit.
So I saw it with, like, people being like, dude, because Lord of the Rings was all everyone was talking about when the first one came out.
Those are huge, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because they're just amazing high fantasy movies.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Lionel almost dies right here?
That was, and look, we talked about it the first time.
He's not far.
Right.
From that.
That's not like a tricked out. He's not really that close.
No.
Like
He almost gets killed by a trolley.
They watched the trolley go by like 3 times, and we're like, okay, we're gonna make this chalk line on the ground. You go stand there. Don't cross it though.
Yeah. On 3, Lionel. On 3.
And then grab the freaking pole and hop on board.
Yeah.
That's
I forgot
crazy.
how close it was, and when we watched it earlier, I was like, oh god, like he almost died.
Yeah.
Like the actor almost died.
There's a beetle.
None of these people worked in anything else ever again. I don't know if that's a fact, but
I feel like that's a fact.
I feel like it's pretty close.
Can our head Googleologist look into that?
Yeah, let me get my phone back from the Sumatran rat.
Would you agree that all of the people in this, besides like the preacher, are like the worst people?
They're all horrible.
Yeah,
Everybody's
the preacher's
horrible.
rad, but everyone else.
Would you
Well, he
also
kicks
agree
ass
that
for
this
them.
is
He
a
kicks ass
really
for them.
inappropriate way to open a fucking letter? She's got the biggest butcher knife I have ever seen in my entire life. And is like, no, it's my letter opener. It's fine.
It's an inappropriate way to be at all, because she continues to walk around the house carrying this gigantic
and just
knife.
stabbing at everything. She's like, there's dust, I'll stab you.
Dust! Look at my knife indicating the dust.
Yeah.
Oh, it's foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
It's
Genius.
WLWL.
Yeah, she's the worst. And just about everybody's the worst. The uncle. But it is like...
Well, even our hero is...
he's awful.
His mama's boysness is
Yes.
off the charts.
And like
and his
how
weird,
much
like the things that he does is like everything's like the most irrational shit. Like nobody would do this.
it's very like Evil Dead meets Psycho.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
a good call.
Yeah.
He's definitely got a lot of Norman in him.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
So the mum hasn't done much. She only did 9 movies, but
I feel like that's a lot more than the rest
a lot
of them
more than-
probably
yeah.
did.
so
More
the
than
lead
I've
has done like 30 something.
Who?
He's the lead actress, Lionel.
Oh,
Done a
no
bunch.
kidding.
Yeah.
Are they all New Zealish movies?
Yeah,
New
mostly. But the mum was actually in the extended edition of The Fellowship of the Ring.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just the extended edition?
Just the extended edition. Her IMDb says
She
Lord
didn't
of the
make
Rings.
it in the 3-hour cut.
I will say,
Paquita's been in 41 things.
If you're gonna watch, which again, the Lord of the Rings movies should for sure be respected, but I actually enjoy the making of that's included on the extended editions, the documentaries.
Yeah.
Holy shit, those are amazing. Seeing Peter Jackson's process, and I wish we had something like that for Dead Alive.
Yeah, unfortunately, I doubt.
I think the process was more like, I'm really high. Let's make a zombie movie.
No, it's very well thought out.
Yeah.
If you watch this, it's a well put together, good movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent in this movie. Some of the shots, I mean, it's funny and it's insane and goofy and kooky, but like, there's fantastic cinematography in this movie, you know?
And the way the kills are planned out are so fucking spot on.
It's like a cartoon meets a ballet. It's so fucking weird and awesome.
So accurate.
Yeah. Like, the last scene is like... It's like this very elaborate ballet, just with oatmeal and blood and guts and farting innards, and it's fucking amazing.
Farting innards that become...
Custard, right. Well, yeah. No pudding.
No pudding?
Oh, it's the best. That guy.
The uncle actually had an uncredited part in Star Wars Attack of the Clones.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the best one?
I think that might be a blessing. He's like, oh, no, I wasn't actually in that. A few of these, I've seen 2 or 3 that have all done stuff on Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. And I'm thinking that's because they just filmed all
in New Zealand. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm waiting for someone to show up on Power Rangers.
Es tan guapo? Tan guapa?
It's pretty and handsome.
La Isla Bonita. I'm pretty sure she just said that.
I thought she said Carne Asada. I don't know.
That was a Madonna song.
It was a Madonna song.
First fucking big album.
All the nature
exactly.
sings.
Whoa.
Something else.
All right, Sumatran Rat Monkey.
Bonita.
Okay, I love this bizarre subplot of his issue with water that plays out like later. It happens now. It's some super heavy, weird first date stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on in the movie, it comes back and it's a thing.
He's like, first date at the zoo. My dad drowned trying to save me, and also there's something really wrong with my mom.
This is like Phoebe Cates' Santa story.
Yes!
It's like the same kind of mood of like, what an odd time to bring that up.
Yeah.
All right, so the priest wins first.
No.
The priest was also in Meet the Feebles. And he was in he was in Hercules, Legendary Journeys, and Young Hercules. But then not 1, but 2 seasons of Power Rangers.
That makes sense.
He played a character in Power Rangers Dino Thunder, and he was in Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Is the Mystic Force Catholicism?
In this movie, yes.
Yeah, Mystic Force it's the worst incarnation of Power Rangers, which is impressive.
Is that correct?
Wait.
Red Ranger?
Sumatran Rat Monkey.
Oh, here it is.
Sumatran
Here's
Rat
the big
Monkey.
moment.
Oh.
Now, Sumatran Rat Monkey, what was it like filming this scene with these human actors?
Oh, look at his nipples.
Yeah, I noticed your nipples are kind of out there. Were you comfortable filming in the nude? Oh, that makes sense. I can understand that.
Oh my god.
So this is a solid scene, and I love her reaction. Paquita's reactions.
Paquita's IMDb is mostly Spanish films.
That makes sense too.
Go figure.
None of this is surprising me for some reason.
No.
This dude's fucking crazy. With his gnarly teeth and his monkey carcasses.
It's it's fine.
And his ability to maintain a cigarette hanging out of his mouth rivals that of Bill Murray in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Or no, Aykroyd. Was it Murray or Aykroyd? Murray.
Aykroyd.
It was
No, it's good. Oh yeah. No, it's because Murray gets slimed, and he's like,
it is Murray.
It is Murray.
It's just sitting right at
it's
the
just
edge
hanging
of
off his lip.
I think it's a
Well, it's
thing.
probably both of them, honestly.
Yeah. It's a thing with that generation. My dad had that where it's like you can just let it dangle.
It just sits there.
It gets stuck with spit.
I
can never just like smoke without using my hands.
Well, I was always too, because I've had a beard since I was like 8. So except for when I shaved for the recent movie.
God, her glasses are amazing.
I was always afraid of setting my beard on fire.
I thought it was Aykroyd.
Oh, it is Aykroyd.
Yeah. Maybe they both do it. I don't know.
Well, they both smoke, but you're right. Aykroyd's the one who
I know
ducks
what you're
it
talking
down.
about. That's like the classic.
What'd you do? Google Ghostbusters cigarette dangle?
I said Aykroyd cigarette, and it came up.
There you go.
Yeah, because I was like, I think it is Aykroyd.
Okay, here we go.
She smushes his head!
Oh.
There's a lot of eye popping in this movie, too.
Now, Sumatran Rat Monkey, your double looked pretty solid in this, but did it upset you at all to see this gore?
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, I'd feel the same way.
Danny DeVito penguin's here, too.
I've been savaged.
This is
Look
a
at my
crossover
dress.
episode with our Batman Returns episode.
Well, it makes sense because this did inspire the animated series.
Absolutely.
It
Which, honestly, a Dead Alive animated series on, like, Netflix, where they have adventures, like they have to go to different countries to track down all the escaped Sumatran rat monkeys.
We need to make
Let's
that.
do it.
I would watch this.
Let's make it
First
happen.
of all, like, this movie is a cartoon. This is a live-action cartoon.
It's a total, like, Looney Tunes.
I mean, as you watch their facial expressions and even the camera work and, like, all the sound effects and everything,
Well, and the
it
themes.
is a fucking cartoon.
The themes, like, feeding the guests, taking baby to the park, it's all, the crazy 50s party.
Yeah.
Like, all of it.
So
if you watch
I
this
noticed
and
a lot
think
of
of
the
it as a
music,
cartoon...
too, sounds like underlying music for, like, Looney Tunes.
Yeah, totally.
the punk rocker is who we have probably seen the most without realizing it.
Is that Scrote?
No, that's Void.
Oh, Void. Scrote, Void, and then...
Spike, and there's another...
Crumb or something?
Crumpets.
I don't know. Crumpet.
Yeah, he was in all the Hobbits. He was in Legend of the Seeker. He was in, which was a...
Legend of the Seeker. I tried to watch that.
I watched that.
It didn't work out. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was in King Kong.
Which one?
Lord of the...
the Peter Jackson.
Probably the Peter Jackson one, Ryan.
I know, it took me a second. Yeah.
The black and white original.
I was like, we talking Skull Island? Yeah.
He was in Lord of the Rings.
I forgot that he did a movie that I didn't really like.
I love that King Kong, man. It was probably
on an hour too long.
It was probably a little too long.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with it.
Man, I just knowing how much Peter Jackson loves King Kong, and that every second of that movie was that man just like, oh, I love it, all of it, get it all up there. Like that was
I enjoyed Skull Island
man.
a lot better.
Well, Skull Island's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
Looks a lot better too, I think. I thought the Kong design.
I mean, it was like 10 years later.
But just the design of Kong and making him giant.
Well, it depends on what you're... It's like Batman.
Yeah.
Like, it's different Kongs for different scenarios.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all preference.
Different Kongs for different Wongs.
Oh. Speaking of Wongs, what's going on here? We got a little romance romance blooming.
Yeah.
Ocho Vez?
So let's talk about this hornball lady.
She is, especially for
so
1957, horny. Is the horniest bitch I have ever seen. Like, she is gonna get it.
And
there are porn stars that are less horny.
Yeah.
So Sean pointed out, and look, those of us who've seen the movie had to be aware that it was 1957 because the tombstone, like, there is a lingering shot on the mom's 1897 to 1957 tombstone.
Yeah.
And even beyond that, like, the fire department in the end is very...
Well, it's New Zealand.
But,
I don't know.
But like Ryan said...
They didn't invent cars there until later, or what?
What do they got cars?
They're like, little tiny fire trucks.
I don't
New Zealand's they have
know
belts.
that I had consciously absorbed the 1957 on that tombstone before. I think I just thought New Zealand was like this.
Yeah, I just thought that they were just backwards as hell.
It's this weird steampunk mortuary.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that either. And like, what it is like, you know, there's some movies that you think of as like 50s films, you know,
right? And
like,
this isn't one of them.
And this is just not one of them.
No,
it's because it's just so insane. But Lionel is about to get his dick sucked.
That's true. There's definitely some business going on, concurrent with his mother's festering, postulating, vile wound.
Arm business.
I still don't know which character is Scroat, but Scroat has so far the highest Power Rangers count.
Oh, wow. Go Scroat Ranger.
Scroat Ranger.
Scroat's been on Xena and Hercules, which is not surprising.
Right. Well, I think everybody in New Zealand... Oh, gosh, that's just awful.
Thick.
Foul.
I think everybody in New Zealand has been on Xena and or Hercules at least once.
Cleopatra 2525.
Yes! Oh, man.
Such a great bad show.
I want to do a commentary on the pilot for that show at some point.
And Lionel comes out and he's like just gotten laid and he's like, "It's such a beautiful day, Mom."
Oh, what a beautiful
you're
morning.
Still alive.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Wrap it in newsprint. Like fish.
That's good.
This...
Oh God.
gosh,
like,
that is the worst wound ever.
It's like throbbing and like undulating.
It's pulsating.
Yes, and he's like, "I'll just rub it with a dry cotton ball."
This cotton ball should clean this right up.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Let me just dab this with a single
I'm perfectly
cotton ball.
fine. No, you're not.
They're definitely all about like the boils and like all the pus and all that shit too. Like,
well, and that's like one of my, I don't want to say triggers, but like one of my things.
Gross.
One of my things I'm super icky about is stuff growing out of the skin.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, it's the WLWL.
I like that the mom thought she could just pull it off.
Yeah, she's
right.
like, "Fuck it, I can do it."
Well, and this is almost another cartoon trope, is the like, gotta get ready for the fancy party.
They'll never notice something crazy's happening.
Right.
Yeah. I can pull this off. It doesn't
I don't
matter
have
that my fucking skin just fell
My
off.
face is peeling off.
And then he just
like,
straight up grabs a bottle of mucilage to stick it back on.
Which is like pretty hardcore, because that would have been like number 12 on the things I would have done.
Yeah, he like opens a drawer and he's like, "Oh, it's rubber cement. This'll be fine." I'd probably try a staple gun before I try rubber cement.
Oh, well, who even has rubber cement? Do any of us here?
I do.
Show of hands, who has rubber cement in the house? Really?
Yeah.
We make costumes and shit.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
And rubber cement is like a
Yeah,
thing?
like almost all of them.
my
Like everything
significant
you make
other
out
is
of
an
foam, you have to do rubber cement.
Well, I do too, but it's got the brush in it. It's not the...
That's the kind we
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have like the
I don't have
class-
that.
I don't have
I
the
just have
80s
the-
one.
I don't have the old with the rubber top with the slit in it.
No, I just had the...
Which I don't
did,
think that's
but-
technically even rubber cement, though. Isn't that something else?
I don't know.
Or is that just the dispenser rubber cement was in back in the day? I just remember making boogers out of it.
Yeah. I
Or
used
you
to like
do the
rub it on
fake
my
peeling
hand and
skin.
then but yeah.
See, I didn't do that with rubber cement. I did that with Elmer's glue.
Yeah, I did
Elmer's
that.
glue,
You do it
I
on the
put it all
palm
over
of your
the palm of my
hand,
hand,
and then-
let it dry, and then peel it off my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it sucks all the moisture out of your hand, and you're like, man, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, here it is.
Yeah, her trying to talk is like really infuriating.
No, she's like a Publix bagger.
What we need is another war!
I'm glad you talked over that terrible, tasteless joke I just made.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah, you were about
it
to
was
go
bad.
somewhere.
It was bad.
That shit got real.
Would you like my beans
This-
off my plate?
Now,
This is perfectly normal.
This is a traditional New Zealand dinner thing.
Apparently.
If you don't finish your beans, you pass them to the person to the left.
Right off your plate.
Right, straight
Not
off
out
the
of
plate.
No pudding?
No pudding?
And he's got the
Here's the thing: is he
custard
says it like pudding is a thing you have every day, but then he also makes a comment about not having pudding in a while.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Oh,
go
God, he
around.
thinks it's so fucking gross.
Let's go around and do our best no puddings. Red
Ah!
Ranger.
Ah.
Oh god.
Oh God, I don't want that
Fuck.
pudding.
No pudding.
All right. No pudding.
I don't know if I can top that.
You can come on.
What? No pudding?
Yeah, louder. Come on, you got to project. You can do this. You can do this. Come on.
I can't do it on the spot.
Okay, Ryan.
no
Ryan.
pudding. No pudding.
This is the best I got.
Oh God. This is like
There's an Oh, that is foul. It's an apricot with a pearl earring.
Oh my god.
Oh,
no polka.
I'm going on a diet.
Oh god.
All right, Nicole, we're going to give you a pass. At any point during the rest of the movie, you can just straight up bust out no pudding when you feel inclined. When you feel like you've got your best no pudding
I'll
on
reserve
board.
the no pudding.
Hang on to it.
Yeah.
Hang on to it.
She'll call you when she's on the way home.
And
No pudding!
well, give me a minute. I'll have to have the recorder up.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite. I have like 10 favorite scenes, and this is one of my favorite scenes coming up because it's so fucking ridiculous.
Well, and the thing is, like, you see it, and you're right. It is ridiculous. It's absurd, but it's a doesthedogdie.com moment.
Yeah.
Because the dog does die.
Yes, the dog does die.
But it's not like... It's not really a tragic... It's a total comedy dog death, which is rare in cinema.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even be upset about this one because it's
Some hair.
Ugh.
And then when they show the bed for a second, and there's just like a mess. Explosion.
Just a mess.
It's just like...
I used one of those little drain things one time, and this is what came out of my drain.
Your mother ate my dog! Not all of it.
She recovers really quick from that, though.
She does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because immediately later, she's like, hey, how's your mom doing?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
If your mom ate my dog, it would be like, we'd have to talk
It'd
about
be at least a week.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that dog was a prop. It was just, she's just trying to get that sweet Lionel dick.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may not even have been her dog. She borrowed it.
I'm just going to sacrifice this dog to get laid.
Well, I don't think in the beginning she was really thinking it was going to get eaten by the mom.
This is true. She's like, you know what'll get me laid?
Yeah.
I think that was a surprise.
Yeah.
I don't like all the cinder blocks that make up the base of this house. Cinder blocks are not a solid architectural decision.
No. God, our lips right now, they look like Thanos.
They do. Thanos' butthole.
Should I just turn the subtitles off at this point so we can see?
Since they're in a language we don't speak.
You don't speak. I mean, I don't either, but I'm just saying. We are learning at this point.
Remember when we thought we were going to pick up Romanian?
Just by staring at people that we couldn't understand.
Yeah. If we look at people really hard, we'll learn how to speak Romanian.
If we read their lips hard enough, we'll just pick it up.
Yeah,
that's solid.
It does not work.
I'm disappointed to learn that didn't happen.
No, we gave.
Do you know any Romanian words?
We gave it a camper's try, not one.
Nothing.
Not a one.
Dude, that's like the hardest language ever.
No, Hungarian's even harder, but Romanian is really fucking hard.
French, like there's just like words that are easy.
He knows how to say black cat pants.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't say it right now. I can't remember, but
come on.
Wait, you're not saying in Romanian or French?
In French.
It was oh shit, I remember Shat Pantaloons or something.
Shat Pantaloons.
Yeah, that was my nickname when I was.
That's what happens when we get too drunk. Oh my gosh, what happened? What's that smell in here? Shat Pantaloons.
When we were in Paris, it was just to say hello, cat pants.
That's like all I can say.
I think
you can't communicate with people by saying hello, cat pants.
I think Shat Pantaloons is the second 7 Mary 3 album.
God damn.
I remember hearing that on 99X. And now, check out the new single from 7 Mary 3 off their hot new album, Shat Pantaloons.
Cumbersome Part 3.
What was their song? Cumbersome?
Cumbersome. They also did... Oh, yeah. Benedict Cumberbund. But they also did Chris Benoit's theme. When
they did.
When the WWE did that, like... I won't say metal, but they did that album where...
because
they had all of the current artists. Right. Yeah. Monster Magnet did Matt Hardy's theme.
Yeah.
Either Puddle of Mud or one of those bands did Triple H. Puddle of Mud was a band.
That was a band.
God.
They were big.
They were like, what should the name of our band be?
Disturbed did Stone Cold's.
You see the Hard Times article talking about like how the reason
he cleared his throat.
He cleared his throat to break up the band. Yeah, fuck that. I fucked up the whole sound.
All right, so back to Dead Alive. Let's not talk about WWE entrance music. Instead, let's talk about Dead Alive.
So we've had Nurse McTavish has become a lot of shit's happened in the last 47
really
seconds.
scooted past a lot of stuff.
So Mom died, then came back to life, and then ripped Nurse McTavish's head almost all the way off.
Used her cheeks like gloves.
Like a 9/10 off.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's 9/10 decapitated.
Hanging by a
she's
thread.
1/10 capitated.
Yes.
So she's fine.
Yes.
She can breathe-ish.
Yes, and she has a handy little handle in her forehead now. And they're all in the basement.
Which is strangely fortified. Like,
Really fortified.
you see, like, just now we saw this brand new solid sliding bolt lock right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then later in the movie, when you see the back of the basement door, it's just like reinforced
iron.
steel.
Yeah.
It looks like the sliding door from Chainsaw.
I noticed that. That was really odd.
Yeah.
It's like they, have planned on keeping prisoners in the basement at some point. Which, honestly, they could have, because,
Yeah, the mom's not.
Yeah, we see there's
she's
some,
no
some
stranger
crazy,
to murder.
Right. Like, if there was ever a Dead Alive 2, his revelation would be, also, Mom kept slaughtered hookers in the basement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked. She seemed fucking awful.
She's very, very much hates young, attractive women. Because they take away all the men.
Can we
It's a very
talk?
psycho thing.
Can we talk a
very
little
much.
bit about how New Zealanders, the New Zealandish people...
Maybe we should put a
We
pin
should
in that
put it
for
off.
a second. Because
Put that off.
this scene is... I don't even have words to talk about why any of this happens.
Why this drooling Nazi...
He may be Scroat.
Nazi... No, Scroat was one of the punks.
Yeah, Scroat was
this
one of
is
the punks.
vet. He's credited as just vet.
He has stuff coming out of his nose and mouth.
He's got fluids coming out of every hole, and
not in the way
also,
that most people in this movie have fluids
no,
coming
they're
out of every
clear
hole.
fluids, and
He's also got a red skinny tie.
and a swastika on his arm.
I guess you're supposed to get that that's his uniform he's wearing under, but he has that whole hole torn just to where you can see the
So
swastika.
it's like he escaped from Nazi Germany to New Zealand, but never changed his clothes, and just put like a veterinarian's coat on over them.
I'm not gonna lie, that's right in my wheelhouse for humor. That's fucking hilarious.
and
has
that's it.
It's
has
goofy as
combed
shit.
his nose hairs into a little Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
God, it's just wonderful. Okay, I'm sorry. Now go on.
So, let's talk a little bit about how all of the New Zealandish people seem to be hybrid doppelgangers.
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Sean, what was your diagnosis for Lionel?
So Lionel is the New Zealand. He's the Kiwi love child of Nicolas Cage and David Tennant.
Is Kiwi racist?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
Well, they're not a race. They're
A country?
a country, a nation.
I don't know.
It's not a continent.
If it is, we're sorry.
What continent is New Zealand part of?
I think it's its own
Australia.
thing, isn't it?
No, it's an
Old
island.
Zealand?
It's not a continent.
It's not
an
a
island.
continent.
So it doesn't. It's not.
It doesn't have a continental allegiance.
I'm pretty sure it's connected to Old Zealand.
Jesus Christ. According to Wikipedia, Kiwi is a nickname used internationally for people. I can't talk. Kiwi is fuck.
I thought you were
Internationally
doing
for
fine until you said I can't talk.
Yeah. So people from New Zealand,
Oh, up the nose.
and it's a common self-reference.
Okay. So they
said it all the time. Fly the Concords.
Is it okay for Americans to say Kiwi though?
Yeah, it says, unlike many demographic labels, its usage is not considered offensive. Rather, it is generally viewed as a symbol of pride and endearment for
Okay.
the people of New Zealand.
Okay.
Party on, Kiwis.
So he's the Kiwi love child,
Of Nicolas Cage and David Tennant.
and we balked at
Yeah.
that a little bit at first, but then he had a
And then he
very
moved his face.
specific
Yeah.
facial
He had a
movement in front of the
manly face.
window. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very manly.
And it totally worked. And she is a
Kia.
combination of WWE superstar Bayley and Salma Hayek.
Yes.
Yes,
That's it.
Absolutely. She has the exact same jawline as Bailey.
she is.
And she looks like a withered nut bag.
She looks like a screw.
Oh my gosh, maybe she's screwed.
Yeah.
That is terrible. What's wrong with us? We are all going to hell, but it's just for watching this movie. So Mom's busting out.
Yeah.
Scrote is surprised.
Surprise screw.
Oh my gosh, what if you woke up one morning and you had these like baby blue eyes in the bottom of your scrotum?
Oh
That would
god.
be so weird.
And then it
Would
started
you even
reading
see them
tarot
though?
cards.
Because they're like underneath.
Would you see out of them?
Oh God.
All I see are my underpants.
Oh my gosh.
It's all underpants
So dark
and
in
pubes.
All right, let's divert this. Oh, like those guys didn't see her coming. What were they doing?
Right.
Staggering down the street.
They were deep in conversation about the 50s in New Zealand.
Oh my gosh.
And she's very obviously unwell, but they're like, let's just keep on walking.
Look, I wouldn't. What do you? Excuse me, ma'am. Do you need some
yeah.
help with your?
Wow.
Wow.
Madame. Oh, here she comes.
And
I don't think the trajectory of that works, like getting hit on the street and then flying straight towards the...
no, that's how it works. I've seen people hit by trolleys in downtown Atlanta all the time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They always fly.
They
into
always
Fly
fly
through
through the door of a business.
Right,
And
that's in front
comically
of them.
slide
Yeah, yeah.
across the floor.
That's
Just
just
always very comical.
That's physics.
Everyone has a good laugh.
They
that's
actually
physics.
fly into the building where their closest relative is.
I was down there eating lunch at Salad and Taters one day, and
It sounds like a very real story. Keep on.
this lady just came flying through the door, and I was like, she looks like she just got hit by a trolley, and the guy was like, happens all the time.
At least once a week, you're at Salad and Taters.
Here's the thing, is I could totally see some hipster bullshit place in Atlanta called Salad and Taters.
Well, I mean, seriously, I'm only paraphrasing. There is a place down there that serves like giant salads and baked potatoes. I just
Yeah.
can't remember what it's called. But it might as well.
I was hoping that they didn't serve either of those things. It was just some
They actually serve bacon and porridge. It's just this ironic hipster thing.
Oh, and here he is. Okay, so
I
the
say
grossest part of this movie has just appeared on screen, and that's Uncle Les.
with his multiplying facial herpes.
Disgusting.
Okay, I say this is John Goodcandy,
Yes.
Yeah.
but somebody else. Well, he's got a little Randy Quaid in him too.
He does have
He does
a
have
little
a-
Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
His
So,
style is like vacation.
Yeah, total Randy Quaid.
Quaid
Shitter's
and
full.
John Goodman and John Candy all got together and had some weird threesome.
You've brought the worst mental images.
Yes.
Randy
They
Good
just
Candy
greased
Quaid.
each other up.
Randy
Good Candy.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
that's definitely a gay porn star's name.
who may also have lip herpes.
And then we've
so much lip herpes.
we just were introduced to Father Kiwi,
Yes.
who is
And
a mix
here
of Steve
is
Martin
the
and
weird fucking
You're right.
steampunk embalming machine.
What the fuck is
that
this
I don't
bullshit?
understand at all. And a goddamn sandwich.
2 sandwiches.
2 sandwiches. Because you need 2
But-
sandwiches.
Well, you
with a
have.
dead lady.
I think
That's
that's
like-
the top and the bottom.
I think it's 2 sandwiches.
Pizza?
I
Okay.
think it's 2 sandwiches.
I think. I mean.
Because why would you open up?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
that's
You're
2
right.
sandwiches.
Oh, there we go.
Oh
And
gosh.
this is
Not gonna eat them now.
the dime store Rick Moranis is actually,
Well,
It's
it's
actually
Peter
Peter Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson to
Like
never
we
not
said,
have
Rick
a beard.
Moranis and
But-
Jerry Lewis.
That's a classic
Lord.
trope.
Yeah.
Is that the mortician is always eating, and he took a bite of the sandwich after it had been pussed and
Yeah.
plonk. That's in the book, though. That's in the mortician handbook.
You must eat a
That
sandwich.
that move. No, that move. Well, and that
There's
you
a
must
sandwich.
eat
There's a
sandwiches.
whole chapter
yeah.
about
You have to be.
sandwiches.
You have to eat while you're doing autopsies.
Yes.
That's a thing.
It's a regular thing.
Okay, so this is Steve Martin and what did you?
Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine, yes, which is fucking dead on. I was just listening to a thing about Full Metal Jacket earlier today, and I need to watch that movie again. And that has nothing to do with anything.
What is this Mickey Mouse shit?
Oh, man.
I do prefer the first half of the movie. Like, there's sometimes I'll just watch the first half, but
It
sometimes
does kind of seem to... It feels like it wanders off.
There's a little bit of a drag in the middle
It's 2
here.
different movies.
Yeah,
Between
it's-
boot camp and...
But
and-
it's...
yeah.
But it's
still
that's
great.
what it had to be.
Yep.
It's Kubrick. That's
Yeah.
what he does. It's his thing. He's like, I'm fucking doing what I want. You can all eat my ass.
Stanley Kubrick, eat a dick.
Yeah.
I don't know what is he English?
I don't know.
Or is he some other
I think he's an
nationality?
alien.
Well, probably, yes.
Martian.
Whatever the case, he did some crazy shit, but he never stuck a syringe up his dead mother's nose and then
came
acted
crashing
like
through
he
a
was
wall.
making love to her dead body. Which is kind of what this looks like.
Stanley Kubrick is just straight up American.
Is what?
He's just straight up American.
He's American?
Oh.
He's American.
He seems too cool to be American.
Yeah.
He's from the Bronx, so...
Huh. That's...
And he just
I get
holds
it.
on to her corpse.
Mumsy, I can't let you go. Like, I get what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's so gross.
Look at this
So-
priest's stride.
He's
Like,
bad.
that man is moving with purpose.
Well, because he's a fucking ninja.
It's true. He kicks ass for the Lord.
Pope Ninja.
No pudding!
I can't do it.
You'll build up to it. You know what the problem is, though, is for me it is. This is not a drinking commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I
Thursday
know.
night, so it's a little, for you guys, it's a little
I just
off.
had coffee and Powerade.
Yeah, and coffee is not going to give you a
I'm in a
strong
much
enough
more
no
custardy
pudding.
mood when I have some alcohol.
That
when
makes
I'm
sense.
inebriated,
I see
when I'm
that.
imbibing the devil's nectar.
Yeah, that makes sense. You get a little tequila in you, and you're like, it's custard time.
No. We can never ever get any tequila in Nicole.
No,
We've already experienced that.
Nobody should have that.
Yeah, things are bad.
That's so. There it is, 1897 to 1957.
Parts of this movie, too, they remind me of...
Also, it
Cemetery
says
Man.
she will live forever on the tombstone. I just realized
which
that.
one,
That's funny.
which one came out first? I mean, I don't know if there's...
I think Cemetery Man was later than this. I feel like Cemetery Man was like 96 or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
shit,
think it was
alright.
mid-90s.
Yeah, I feel like it was
I
later.
guess we could Google it.
And you know what? I'm
That movie's amazing.
gonna admit something to you guys. Cemetery Man. The first time I saw it, it blew me away, and I bought it on DVD. I was like, "Holy shit! I can't believe I own this movie." And I found it a little boring.
Yeah, it didn't hold up as well for me either, because, like, the first time I saw it, and it became one of those, like, Holy Grail movies, because it's, like, out of print. It was hard for me to find it.
And that's what it was. Is I rented it
yeah.
and watched
Yeah,
it,
same here.
and then spent years trying to
track it down.
buy a copy.
Yep.
Yeah, it
And
took
then,
me forever.
and not even like Anchor Bay put it. I can't remember who put it out. It was somebody
Yeah.
weird, like Vision or something.
Yeah.
And I finally got a copy, and I was so excited to watch it, and I was like, man, this movie is slow.
Like, yeah, it's got some really cool moments and visuals, but yeah, it's very slow.
Yeah.
I actually bought it off some guy
I remember it being a lot
for...
better.
In
when I
downtown
read it.
Atlanta, he like opened his jacket up and was like,
Kinda.
I got
Well,
some-
yeah, he works...
I got Della Morte Della Mora.
Yeah.
He stands
He was
out
trying
front
to
of
be all
salad
fancy
and
about it.
taters.
No,
Yeah, that is Salad and Taters,
yeah,
the
I went to
movie
get
guy.
salad and taters, and I came away with Della Morte Della More. No, I got it off a guy for like $13,
Nice.
which I was like, yes. I mean, it was
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Apparently he did. I mean, not that it's like $1 bajillion, but $13.
Yeah.
Well, but it was a tough
It was really
find for
hard
a
to
long
find.
time.
Yeah,
I found it at Movie Stop, and I was like really stoked. I think I may have even done the move where I was like, "Hey, can you call around to other movie stops and tell me which one has it?"
Yeah.
Like, it was like that kind of thing.
Well, they did some kind of... Because it came out on DVD, but then some kind of fancy edition. It wasn't Blu-ray, but a nicer...
yeah, I didn't have that.
Like, not Shout Factory, but Arrow or something. Oh,
That's
here
what
it
happened.
is. Here's the line
So
of the
badass.
decade.
Best line in any movie ever.
Dude, he is. I mean, he's pretty convincing.
I kick
Yes,
ass for the Lord.
And this blew my mind the first
yeah.
time I saw it. There is only one other movie where I have been as surprised by a turn of events, and I'm not going to say what it was because at some point we're all going to watch it, and I'm going to blow your fucking minds with this movie.
Oh, something we haven't seen?
Yeah, it's one you haven't seen.
Nice.
Well, have you seen Takashi Miike's Dead or Alive?
No, but I've had like several people tell me to watch it.
Oh, fuck.
Really?
At some point,
I haven't
we're
seen it
watching
either, and I
that
love
movie.
him.
Yeah.
I've
Like recently, I've had people be like, "You have to see it."
well, there are three of them.
Okay.
All three of them are amazing.
Holy shit.
But the first one, I have never seen a movie take a turn like that movie does.
Fuck. That's awesome. It's not based on the games, right?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. No, this
That's
is...
what I thought everybody was talking about. I'm like, that has
No,
to suck.
it's
Okay.
nothing to do with the games. Although there is a Dead or Alive movie based on the games that has
That's gotta be
Dennis
terrible.
Rodman in it, I think, maybe.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's a great actor.
He is tremendous. He was...
Fantastic wrestler.
Oh, and this broke my heart the
I
first
know.
time I saw this movie because I loved this priest. He's so great.
Yeah.
No, he's dead alive.
He is. Oh, and he has such a significant role in the rest of the movie.
He really
For
does.
no reason. He could have just left him there.
Right.
Yeah.
But instead, you got to bring him back home and feed him some
Well,
foul-looking
I guess
eggs.
Lionel is like, if these zombies start getting out, first of all, that's bad. Because he sees how quickly it's spreading. So he's
Right.
like, trying to contain it to his basement. And I think he also thinks, like, they will definitely track it back to his mom and him. So that's, I think, why he's trying to, like, keep it under control.
I mean, maybe at, like, zombie number 1, you just call the police and be like, hey...
Yeah, I mean, his
hell?
life would have definitely been
But that's
less disgusting.
That's the mommy issues, though.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
this is
this-
too much. This is like being is like being at Huddle House at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday.
so lovely.
And look at the actress; like she's totally selling the can't get the eggs down.
Yeah.
She's probably actually pretty fucking grossed out.
Yeah. Well, she's... God damn it.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, she's covered in shit. She's got contacts in that so she can't see anything. And she's got, like, fake eggs all over her face. And she's doing a glorious fucking job.
I like
Now
how
they're
the
making
priest is
out.
all horned up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what gets him going: is zombies covered in eggs.
And a bird head.
And, like, yeah,
Head.
how do you make out when you have a fucking bird statue stuck in your forehead?
Very carefully.
Yes.
I will say his hairpiece pretty convincing.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I feel like this. Well, no, it is. It's a hairpiece because you
Yeah.
can see on the
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah. But it's not bad. Like
I know guys with haircuts like that.
Yeah, I didn't notice until he took it off. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an amazing shot right here. The point of view shot from his dick to his face.
Well, and the sound
Yes.
when he
And he's
finally.
When he,
Yeah, it sounds like he busted a rivet or
he
something.
breaks the seal.
It sounded like some metal action happened.
Yeah.
Clank, clank.
Like he broke a screw off in
Like,
his
I
dick.
got a urinary.
Well, what it
However
sounds.
you say it in New Zealand.
It sounds like a stone being passed
Yeah.
because there's clearly like a blockage that goes
Think.
pook, and then it.
Yeah. It's so gross. And that
got-
just adds to the Peter Jackson gross
Oh,
factor.
and you know what? Just talking about it,
got
I
problems.
kind of need to. I kind of got to go pee now. So you guys keep it going.
Keep the ship going.
Well,
that scene really moved me.
Yeah, if you could just get like a POV shot
I will. I'll
from
open it up on
from like
Instagram.
your
Yeah.
crotches area up,
FaceTime.
Put it on Boomerang.
Dick up
Ew.
on Boomerang.
dick up.
Dick up on Boomerang.
Gross. And what the fuck is this shit?
I
So
think
like,
it's an inhaler.
yeah, and I guess I should know, but like he keeps squirting this like
Like a
plastic
glass.
Well,
thing.
but you
through
weren't
his
in the
mouth.
medical field in the 50s, so...
No,
Yeah.
because I wasn't alive. I mean,
Right.
almost. I am at least 60 or 70 years old, but you know, I
Don't say that,
later
because
in
I'm your
life.
much older brother.
You
so that
are my
makes me about
significantly
90.
older brother. Yeah, a lot older.
Son of a bitch.
That's why I'm in
So
this whole relationship to get discounts at Piccadilly.
you son of a bitch.
I love going shopping on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
It's Senior
it's great.
Citizens Discount Day.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
I
murder
apologize
your
for that.
Kroger
immediately.
coupons.
Shouldn't have
Ladies
said
and gentlemen, you may have just witnessed the final words of Ryan
it. When the
Cadaver.
words escaped my lips, I felt bad. Back to his hairpiece. Pretty good. Not bad.
Yep.
So yeah, now we have
Skinny ties.
2 zombies are porking
Yeah.
behind the door,
Here's the interesting thing.
loudly porking.
So does he have that much pent-up jizz because he was a priest that even when he's dead, he's still able to like dump his clip inside her and make a baby.
Dump his clip?
Yeah, you just like,
is that what you say?
Yes.
You're like, oh baby, hold still so I can dump my clip inside of you?
Yes, I run home and I'm like, hey Jen, time to dump the clip.
Oh,
Damn.
God.
Not at
damn.
all what I
Don't
say.
do that.
That's actually stolen from somebody else, but it's still funny.
So she's immediately fertilized.
Is it because of the priest?
Yeah.
It's immaculate conception.
No, that was nothing immaculate about that. That was filthy.
That was filthy.
It was absolutely filthy. And she ate his face.
This is true. With a face full of egg.
Oh, so
last time, probably because I was turning away because it was so fucking gross.
And it looks like Lionel's taking a dump right now, by the way.
It does. And that's the least gross thing you can think of right now.
Yeah.
There isn't any, there's not much shit stuff in this.
Oh, darn.
Like,
but there is a talking sphincter.
Yeah, there is a good
Well, it's not talking so much as just emoting.
Winking. It's winking at you.
It is winking.
It's
I'm not gonna lie.
It's sassy.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple times I'm like, that butthole's kind of cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah,
It's a
right?
winky sphincter.
I mean, it's not the first time I've thought it about a butthole. But
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna not say.
So, okay, one thing I wanted to talk about, Nicole, this was your pick. You were supposed to have February's pick, but we weren't able to do a commentary in February. So this was your pick, but we know, we're watching it on DVD, but we know that right now Peter Jackson, and this isn't like some company got the rights, Peter Jackson is working on 2K remasters of this and Bad Taste.
And it'll be the best day of my entire life.
But we don't have, there's no indication of like a date or time frame or anything, so we wanted to go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
And not like wait on the remasters,
It
although
could be 2 years.
once, we're right, it could be, yeah,
It
exactly.
could be next week, or it could be 3 years from now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I will say, if you follow the Home Again column on needlessthingspodcast.com, I'll let you know as soon as it's available.
Actually, that's just really useful because you put everything in one place, and there's like certain times where I'm like, "What the fuck is out right now?" And I go look, and I'm like, "Oh, got it."
Yeah, all the genre stuff. Like I just like to run down what's cool coming out every week.
Well, that's like the only shit that I'm interested in. So.
Well, and the reason I do that post now is Ain't It Cool used to do that every Tuesday, and then they stopped. And I feel like I just like putting it all, like listing all the cool stuff, so you can just go look at what's coming out and not have to go wander around fucking Best Buy or whatever that's not going to have everything anyway.
Exactly.
Best Buy has 2 horror movies.
Right,
at any
exactly.
given time.
Dude, it took me, because I didn't get it right when it came out, but Into the Spider-Verse took me forever to find it on Blu-ray.
It's
Because like Walmart
ridiculous
and like
now.
Target like couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I went to Target and Walmart, neither one of them had it. I was like, how the hell?
Let's talk about this baby.
This is where shit starts to get weird.
Yeah.
As opposed to 47 minutes ago.
Yeah, so this is a zombie baby. Not a baby who was born and then made into a zombie. No. 2 zombies fucked.
And
And
conceived.
a zombie baby came out of a zombie's vagina.
I don't. I mean, other
Abomination.
than just Looney Tunes humor, I don't get why he was like, I need to dress it up and take it to the park.
Because, and that's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah.
This is like,
It's because this is ridiculous.
this would be a Looney Tunes short, Merry Melodies, Baby at the Park.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what this
just
is.
him falling down this hill is hysterical.
This is like Taz in a little baby onesie with Bugs Bunny trying to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this
exactly right.
is.
Totally.
Because, like, why on earth would he be like, you know what I should do? I should bring this around children.
I love how rough he is with the carriage,
Yeah.
though. Like, he's just such an idiot
Yeah.
with his barbed wire cover.
He manages to
Visually,
make
this is
the worst
so good.
possible decision at every moment.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's also, one of the other things I wanted to discuss real quick is, speaking of the best way to get movies, Amazon lately has been just ass.
Yes.
Everything I've ordered through Prime, we've all got Prime here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like just about everything I order, I get a notification that your order is now going to be late. We apologize. It's no longer coming in 2 days. It's coming in like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't get
And if it's not there by next Saturday, contact us.
Yeah. I've been
What
getting a
the
lot of
fuck
that.
is that?
Dude, it's awful. It's so bad. Especially like around like December or November, December, like it was impossible to get something.
See, I've only recently started having this happen. Okay, that is clearly just a man.
A man in a large baby suit.
Yeah.
No, it's been worse recently for sure. But I'm saying like around November and December, like every single package I ordered was delayed.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
See, I didn't have a whole lot of problems in. It's only been in the last couple of months that it's been.
Now,
I would say 2 out of every 3 orders.
Punching this baby in
punching,
the face.
abusing, beating. Homeless guy thinks it's great.
And then slamming it, taking it by the feet and slamming its face into the ground.
Well, I take that back. That's not a homeless guy. That is a government. That's a New Zealand government employee. That's a job they have in New Zealand. Is public drunk. They give him a bottle of rye and he just wanders around laughing at things.
Buying a plane ticket.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could be employee of the month. Definitely.
Sounds awesome. Only if you get a cool hat like that, dude.
I like that lady's hat.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
All the ladies have the best glasses in this movie. Like, there are some fucking amazing glasses.
Well, the first time we see the mother, she's got some kind of, like, half swirly thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
want them. And now Paquita is with Roger. And
Rugby
Roger is talking about how awesome he is at rugby. And Paquita looks like she wants to start a shotgun.
Look, I'm not going to lie. If I was awesome at rugby, I'd probably talk about it a lot, too.
Yeah.
I wonder why they're all just plain dead.
So there's your steel reinforced door.
I guess that they were still sedated, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Because he thinks that they're
That's
dead.
true, yeah.
Because if he's home, he has to sedate him like every 3 minutes. But if they need to do a thing where he's not in the house, it lasts like 8 hours.
That's
But
true,
now all of his fucking Uncle Les's face herpes have like
they're
spread.
multiplying.
Now he has like 6 face herpes
So
when he only had
bad.
like 2.
Why?
Apparently he's put his face in some very unclean places.
I think Peter Jackson just thought it was funny. And
Yeah.
was like, hey, let's just keep adding them.
That is a
because
lot
Uncle
of
Les
coke.
is the grossest thing in this movie. Regardless of all the other shit, Uncle Les is the grossest thing in this movie.
Even grosser than the ear pudding?
I thought
I
the
would
pus
rather
going in
watch-
the pudding's grosser than the ear.
Yeah, the pus is worse than the ear. Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
When the
that
pus
could
just
work.
squirts out, and then dude eats it, and he's like, I haven't had pudding like this since fucking mom, or
It's
whatever.
very creamy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's no such thing as just blood in this movie. It's
No,
all like
all pus.
pussy blood.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
Thick
thick
and weird
viscous.
Yeah, there's like strings of white in it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
Ugh.
God. So
It's almost
not
sentient.
Okay.
And this guy's wearing a bolo tie. It's a
He's-
golden bolo tie.
And he also has a belt buckle with like a fucking long
Steerhead,
cow.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that a thing in New Zealand? They have like
Maybe.
cowboys?
I think he's almost like a parody of an American.
yeah.
And I think you're right. Like, those stupid Americans will make him Uncle Les.
That's some pretty good work with that bottle. He like flipped it over,
But he
didn't
never
drop
spilled
it,
it,
hung
yeah.
on to it.
Well, now I got
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that,
But because everything that Lionel does is like at 11.
I know a guy
At
that
all
dances
times.
like that, and he is not a zombie. Oh, you people. You're all about to become piles of oatmeal.
Dude, he said that. I mean, I will give the uncle some credit. He's a popular man.
Right?
Like, he just instantly had like 50 people in his house.
Yeah.
Instantly. I couldn't do that.
It takes so much effort just to get you guys over
I know.
Schedules are a bitch.
But I mean, like, dude, that dude's badass. He just calls up. He's like, hey, I need all 50 of my friends to come over.
Well, to be fair, it's New Zealand.
yeah, there's nothing to do.
There's-
Just everybody in New Zealand is friends with everybody else
Right.
in New Zealand?
They all
Yeah.
know each other. This is the population of New Zealand in this house right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This features this is the only horror movie to feature countryside, where literally everybody in the country is just dead at the end of the movie, except
Yeah.
for Lionel and
Paquita and the
Paquita
fire-
and the
They
fire
have to
department.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing: is we learned that Kiwis just spontaneously appear
Right.
as cats.
Right.
They don't actually procreate in any way.
When two celebrities shake hands anywhere in the world, a new being appears in
New Zealand. Yes, that is the truth. 100%.
It's like all the people invited over are like younger too. It's weird.
Yeah, that is. Well, you know what though? It's not surprising.
Yeah,
They
I
were
guess
just
it's because
created.
they think he's come into money.
Here's the backstory for this guy. He's the principal at a high school. He's all of his students. He's invited all of his students over because they know he's going to let them drink.
yeah,
In a basically unsupervised situation.
yeah. I can see that. That makes sense.
But they know, like, out of the 40 of them, they know at least a couple of them are going to end up having to have sex with him.
Oh.
But
Yes.
it's worth it so they can drink and party.
Yeah, it becomes it's a principal fuck roulette.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, and they're like, "Who's the slutty ones?" All right, so we'll throw them up for the sacrifice.
Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be Chrissy and Dana tonight.
I mean, look how handsy he is with Paquita.
But maybe Peter, and then they're like, "Oh look, there's this older lady is here. He seems into her. We may be able to just party all night
We're gonna be off the
Yeah.
hook.
and not."
And Paquita hits him in the nuts so hard he goes bald.
So again, very cartoony.
Knocks his fuck
Like to
goes
get
loose.
hit so hard, your hair just goes. Pew.
It would have been the only way it would have been more cartoony is if you went like this and it flew right off the top of his head.
Or if it was
Spun
like
around and
the
landed.
individual
Yeah.
hairs
Yeah.
shot off and then fell down.
It spins around and lands backwards.
His
Yeah.
bow tie
Yeah.
spun around.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Given how this
I'm actually
movie
surprised
is,
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, given how this movie is, I'm surprised it didn't do something like that.
Well, I think the hair at some point ends up on the baby.
It does.
And
It
then,
does.
Yeah, so we have a few hair gags.
Yeah.
Like, they don't disappoint.
This part's actually pretty creepy.
Yeah. When Paquita finds all the zombies. But again, the most understanding girlfriend ever to walk the earth.
Well, she's just stoked that this guy's controlling mother is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I would
I
be.
honestly think that's her motivation in this scene. Is like, this is horrible.
But at least that bitch is dead. Because the first
Ding
time she
dong, the
meets
bitch
her,
is dead.
she's like, this is the worst mother-in-law ever. Like, she's such a raging C-word to her at the zoo that I would be happy the bitch was dead.
And you know what I realized?
What's that?
Lionel has followed the most basic rule of zombie movies, and that is put that bitch in
Yes.
the cellar.
Damn right.
He did put that bitch in the cellar.
Put that bitch in the cellar. Put that bitch in the cellar. Put that bitch in the cellar.
Because that bitch is possessed.
Woo!
Ridiculous.
I love it.
So good.
Ryan, I'm glad you remembered the lyrics because I just remember the put the bitch in the cellar.
That's it. Yeah, that's why I stopped. I was like, Ryan will know it.
Ryan.
We can swing it over to him, and he'll take care of it.
I did sit there and record it all night and get drunk with Derek.
It's the best song ever.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's just rubbing himself off with a bottle.
Rubbing rye on his balls.
Yeah.
Why is rye my liquor of choice for the evening for New Zealand?
Sounds gross.
It does sound gross. What is rye?
It's also what my
Do we
dad
know?
calls
This type
me.
of whiskey.
It's whiskey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Why is the song whiskey drinking whiskey and rye?
Because all ryes are whiskey, but not all whiskeys are rye.
What the fuck?
Wow.
That confused me.
That
Just
was
like
deep.
all bourbons are whiskeys, and not all whiskeys are bourbons.
Oh wow. Oh, I don't like bourbon.
So confused.
Bourbon tastes like an old man's butthole.
You're wrong, or I love old man butter. One of the two.
Well, Ryan, you're in for a treat in about 30
Couple
years.
more years. That butthole's all mine.
Yeah, you can stay away from my young man bottle for now. Just go to drink your bourbon to get your fix.
Every time I drink bourbon, I just leer at Ryan. I'm like, waiting for you.
One
Won't be too much longer.
Soon. You're almost 32. Your
That
butthole
thing's
will be
gonna
old soon.
Start drooping any day now.
I don't know what the magic butthole age is, but I'll know
Oh,
when it
looking a lot
happens.
more wrinkly than usual. Alright, we'll Let's not talk about
That thing's got a lot of character now.
There's a whole other podcast about Ryan's
a
butthole.
whole other podcast.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Oh, those kids are smoking and drinking. It's crazy.
Oh, are they smoking? Oh, they are smoking too. Are they smoking?
house.
Do you think they're smoking the wacky weed?
Probably. What kind of silly fucking attack was that?
He's like, uses the rhinoceros.
It was
attack.
like Roman Reigns
Yeah,
over here.
Yeah, it was.
Totally that running abdominal headbutt.
And now, like, he's just, like, thrown off all pretense of being a human being. He takes Paquita by the fucking hair and drags her into another room and, like, closes and locks the door.
He's gone
he is
too
going
far.
to rape her. He's going to rape her with his fucking urinary infection.
Ew.
Yeah.
I bet his dick looks like his head.
Oh, God.
It's got a little
It's so
toupee on it.
disgusting. Yeah.
You're going to take
I
a
bet
look
it's
at
got
my
fucking
dick
herpes all over it,
toupee.
too.
Look at the
Super
toupee
gross.
on my nub.
I got a curly dick.
It's like a duck's.
It's a corkscrew.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna put it in your cloaca.
Open up and say cloaca.
Little known fact: New Zealanders have corkscrew penises.
It's a fact.
It's why they can't reproduce and they have to spontaneously generate.
God damn.
Anybody from New Zealand, we apologize
sorry.
profusely.
Do you remember like 40 minutes ago when we were scared to say kiwi?
Well, that was a lot. That was a lot of rye ago.
The
Yeah.
spontaneous generation.
Oh man, the
he
rib
ripped his
cage
whole
just
fucking
pulled
rib cage
right
out.
But I
out.
also like how he's like, give it back. Like he tried to
Yeah.
No, that's
Like,
fine.
you're just gonna shove it back in there and everything will be
fine.
okay.
Okay, this guy looks like
it's fine.
a combination of Greg Proops and Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, not anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
God, that was good though.
But
gore was so
half of the people in this
fucking
movie look
amazing.
like Greg Proops.
Yeah, you're right. This
Greg
is just
Proops
Greg
a Kiwi?
Proops in like
Yeah,
in
this is
40 different
weird.
costumes.
I love that death.
He just pulls her heart out and she looks at it and she looks like she faints because she sees her arm.
Right. That's what gets her. Is
It's
she
so
realizes my heart's not in me.
My
My
heart's
heart's
not
just
in
not
it.
in this anymore.
This guy's jacket is amazing, though.
Oh god!
I will give
you know
him-
what?
I
Dale
give him-
Jepson needs a jacket like that. We need to we need
Yeah.
to call him up.
I don't know. I do applaud his zombie killing abilities.
Yeah, when he starts going to town with
Yeah.
those meat cleavers.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
He
Yeah,
is
that's
useful
solid.
for a minute, but he still deserves.
He's
to
still
die.
hard.
And still,
Yeah.
still fuck that guy. And you can't pick your friends. Oh wait, no, you can
can't
pick
pick your
friends, but
zombies.
you can't pick your friend's nose.
You can't pick your zombies, but
Yeah.
the zombies can pick your nose.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's just etiquette.
I don't know. I fucked it all up.
We all did.
Oh, she's going fucking
much
bananas with this goddamn mop.
Well, what are you going to do?
I think the zombies in this, they're a lot more threatening than like the Romero ones and stuff. Like
They're terrifying. They're very
Well, they
aggressive.
can't
They're
be
very
killed.
fast.
Yeah.
They can't be killed.
They
Yeah,
can
at
be
all.
chopped up and they're still going. He's attacking people with a garden gnome, which is the best weapon I think ever.
Let's go around. Sean,
Yes.
you're being attacked by crazy Kiwi zombies. What is your weapon of choice?
Not a fucking garden gnome. I'm gonna try to find some sort of sharp machete, something.
Okay, you took mine. So I'm gonna instead, since you got machete, I'm gonna say that long branch trimmer thing, the serrated,
Like
the
that.
serrated
Yeah.
blade on
Yeah,
the
they
end
give-
of the long. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, you get distance.
My answer is like very simple, but mine is baseball bat, aluminum baseball bat.
Okay.
Because an edged weapon, you have a really high chance of getting your weapon
stuck.
in the zombie.
Yeah.
But you can just bonk the shit out of their heads all day long with an aluminum baseball
That's
bat.
very true.
Yep.
That's very true.
And you don't even want to do the wooden bat with the nails in it, because again, the nails
It gets
stuck.
stuck. Yeah.
Then you're fucked. Just bonk them with a baseball
What
bat
if
and run.
what if you hit him with the aluminum bat and it bonks back and hits you in the head?
Then you're
that
an
would be
asshole.
some shit that would happen to me.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That would be like me trying to use nunchucks. It'd be much worse for me than anybody I was fighting.
Yeah,
I would totally watch a zombie movie though, where the guy's only weapon was nunchucks,
yes.
and he had to fight hordes of
I
zombies.
just
would-
realized
but
the
it would only
zombie
be like
behind
3
him
minutes
is
long.
holding an arm.
Yeah,
All right, Right, this is great. This is like total Pitfall Harry.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
On the heads.
Only heads.
Ryan, what's your Kiwi zombie weapon of choice?
A tank.
You are much smarter than the rest of us. Well done.
Damn it.
Nice.
You're the winner.
We were discussing weapons, and we missed the that amazing scene with the cut that is so clean, where the hand comes
We
from
did.
behind the face and right through the
that's
mouth.
And even immediately before that, we have the guy that's pulled out of the dumbwaiter, and all of the skin is pulled off of his legs.
His
He
So
just
he's-
has bones.
His little
yeah.
legs.
So he's just got little legs. Little legs. Look at his little legs.
I wanted
And
to make that
then,
call, but
immediately afterwards, the bitch gets punched from the back of the head to out the mouth.
Yeah, I cannot see a cut.
no,
And
we've.
it is...
Like the guy who gets his skin pulled off, you can kind of see the cut, but it still looks great.
And later on, when the baby comes out of her face,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can
But it's
see the
still
cut. But like in that one, man,
nah, it's so fast.
Yeah.
It just
It's
happens
incredible.
so fast that like you can't tell.
I mean,
I can't do this
right.
one.
This
No,
part does bother
I
me.
can't
can't.
do this one. I
That
can't
part
do
bothers me.
teeth.
I can't do teeth.
Teeth stuff. Can't do it.
That and the pudding are the two parts that bother me.
Yeah.
Everything
Uh,
else, I'm just like, that's cool.
Did you guys watch? Oh shit! What was it called? Candle Cove, the sci-fi.
Oh,
Yeah, with the
yeah.
tooth-
with
the
the
tooth
noise.
monster.
Oh.
Oh.
I can hear the noises now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
every
right.
time my skin would fucking crawl.
That was great.
It was really
that
good.
first season was so good.
I really like No End House, the second one. I think
We
so.
got like 3 or 4 episodes in, and it kind of lost us. I'll go
It's
back and
good.
watch it
was
at some
good.
point.
But the first one was the best. Like,
Yeah.
the goddamn tooth monster was,
Yeah.
was terrifying. It was
Yeah,
a
the
thing of
first season
nightmares.
was definitely the best.
This right there.
When they
Oh,
turn into a
look at
jack-o'-lantern.
each other and then look
Yes.
back. Oh, it's so good.
I mean, the acting in this movie is fucking good.
Yeah, the shit that's ridiculous is they were meant to be ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Is like obviously, again, with the cartoon thing,
Yeah.
Peter Jackson was going for a very specific style and aesthetic here, and I can just imagine, like, you can watch this movie and their facial expressions and just hear Peter Jackson being like, "No, bigger,
Yeah,
Yeah.
more.
give me more."
But-
Pretend you're Bugs Bunny right now.
Yeah, like watching this movie,
How the fuck did that head get back in the house?
He kicked it
Well, he kicked it, but where did it go?
in the house.
At some point, it ends up in the house. Oh, here
just
is
gotta
the
go
best.
with
Here's the best character in the movie, though.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's not him.
No, it's not.
But like,
It's not. Not Scroat. Whatever that guy's
Void.
name is.
the legs.
He's void because he voids
Void.
his bowels. Maybe.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I don't know which one's Scrooge and which one's Void and which one's
It doesn't
fucking
matter.
Stan.
But this
I
one.
just know that Void was the first one in the credits. So I'm
Oh,
assuming
look
it's
at this guy.
this guy. Oh, look, it's a butt and it farted!
Poot.
And powder came out of his butt. for
Like
some
an
reason.
old man's ejaculate.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, calm down. You're getting Nicole all randy.
Oh, you're right.
Thinking about butthole.
Look at this. It's so good.
He's so cute.
Oh, look how adorable I am in the mirror.
my friendly dusty
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
So, yeah, like, watching this movie, you can see that, like, an amazing filmmaker made this movie. Even
Yes.
though it is disgusting and fucking ridiculous, it's also extremely well made, well put together. It's a great story.
It's a lot of
As
thought.
fucking crazy as it is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
It's not just a bunch of
wonderful.
horse shit. It's
Yeah.
not like if you remember in the early 2000s, in the dying days of Blockbuster, when when we were younger, you could go into the horror section and grab pretty much anything,
It was all.
and it would at least
worth-
be
yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
They weren't all good, but it'd be a movie. But then in the early 2000s, we got this horse shit where any idiot was getting like a digital camera and making movies, and there was a lot of horrible, dumb stuff.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
working at Blockbuster around that time, and it was bad.
So you know what kind of stuff came in there and got put on the shelves. But this is... It's ridiculous, it's goofy, it's vile, it's horrible, but it's made with so much skill and such specific vision.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
There's so much discipline involved in this movie.
Everything in this movie is intentional. every laugh is intentional. Every bit of ridiculousness is intentional. Like, a lot of shit, a lot of horror, like, the comedy is accidental, you know?
Yeah.
Like Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah.
This,
Like, that movie cracks me the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not because they were...
It's not because they
This is a-
storyboarded it and
it's
knew
a
all the gags.
well-crafted comedy.
Yeah.
Like, there's a fucking dead guy walking around with no head and a goddamn garden gnome stuck into his neck stump. That is genius.
And even all of the reveals, the camera work, like the timing of everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
Editing
brilliant.
solid.
Like, everything that happens in this movie is presented in as effective a way as it possibly could have been presented. It's all perfect.
Yeah.
The orchestration is just incredible. There's not a wasted
no
moment.
Sloppy camera work. There's no filler. It's perfect.
Yeah.
No, the camera works great.
And the
Look at that
continuity.
bitch in the background.
Right,
It's
the
so
continuity
good.
is incredible.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
everything, you never get to a scene and you're like, well, wait a minute, what about that other thing? Because it's always there.
Everything is tied up. I mean, like, this movie is, to me, it's flawless. Like, there's a reason why this is my favorite movie. It's disgusting, yeah, but it's also, god damn it.
The wiener shot.
The wiener schnitzel in her
That's
mouth.
so good.
It's a fantastic movie. It's fucking entertaining, which is what movies are supposed to be. Oh, there's Dad's girlfriend.
Yeah,
Found
here's
her.
this weirdness.
Yeah, it is. This is odd. I get it, but it is an odd thing. And then there's
it ties it all together.
It explains Mom's hatred for
Yeah, I think
Everything.
I think it makes it a little more interested.
It does. It gives it a little depth.
Yeah.
But it's just odd with as gonzo as everything else is. That he was like, well, wait a minute, we need to have a through line for the mother and son story.
Yeah. Well, that story could not exist at all in this movie, and the movie would be just as good, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Well, and it is that extra little, like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it is an extra bit of wow, he's serious about this.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's also like, okay, so when you start and you meet Mom, you're like, okay, Mom is awful and she's overbearing and she's this and that. And then when you find out all this stuff, you're like, oh, so, like, she has manipulated this guy to just, keep him alone and keep him with her for her entire life because, like, because she married a womanizer, essentially.
Right.
And so she's taking out all of that on him. It just makes it makes her more of a villain.
Well, and as I don't remember who pointed it out, but somebody pointed out it's a very like Norman Bates type thing going on, where it's Norman and Mother.
Yeah, well, she puts all of her attention into Lionel.
But it's not out of love; it's out of control.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know how they did the scene with the where he's doing the hacking real fast, and it's like because like usually in these movies, like you can tell when they've sped up footage and it looks really dumb. Like that effect always looks really dumb to me when they speed up footage.
Yeah.
But it looked really smooth and like real time in this.
It was you could tell it was sped up, but it didn't look shitty for some reason.
No, I don't know why.
It didn't look like a bad kung fu flick.
Yeah, usually that looks really bad.
There's a few parts in this where they speed it up, but it's just slightly.
I think part of it is because he was stationary.
Yeah.
He wasn't moving around. He was in one spot.
You're probably right.
So it didn't seem as jarring.
Jerky, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that they were careful to keep like his torso as still as possible while he just did this with his arms.
Right.
Yeah, so
so they were like, just do this.
Gosh, that is
vile. Absolutely vile.
That right there.
Right in the balls again.
If I had to list 5 scenes or 5 things from this movie, like a couple years after the last time I watched it, that the gnome popping out and all the red oatmeal coming out would have been one of them. Like, for some reason, that's very standout to me.
So gross.
Super gross.
Although, gosh, it's hard to say. I kind of wish I'd sat down and done that before we recorded this. Because now I'm seeing when the uncle gets the spine thing, he's just horrifying. I really wish I had
That's like
sat
something
down
out of,
and
like,
thought about
The
that.
Thing, like the John
Yeah,
Carpenter.
I feel like at the end of this, we should all say what the most horrifying moment is to us. If we can
I
come up
agree.
with it, because it's hard to fucking do in this movie.
I think we can. Yeah, we'll definitely do that though.
Yeah, that's like it's.
The teeth, and then it just explodes.
Yeah,
it's like
the
a
zombie
car
just
on The
explodes,
Simpsons.
I don't know why.
I couldn't figure that either. It looked like it was landing on that necklace.
I think it's just the impact.
They just
of it.
explode on impact.
Yeah,
They're very fragile, even though
Even though they're not at all.
Yeah.
Hello, sis.
Yeah,
Shit.
there's a couple of them that
they're fragile, but they're durable.
Yeah.
Like they can get torn apart very easily, but they're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
As long as you don't drop them or hit them, because then they explode.
Yes.
I feel like movies like this, and we talked about Evil Dead 2, were these the first kind of zombie comedies? Like I feel like before.
Well,
this-
there's Return of the Living Dead was 84, I think, and I mean that was absolutely a comedy.
that one.
Evil Dead 2 was 87. This was 90. What?
92.
92.
Enter
So-
the lawnmower?
So was there anything prior to Return of the Living Dead that was like the sort of zombie comedy type thing? I feel
like everything that Romero directly touched was serious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because Return
definitely.
was different people, in spite
Except
of
for
being
Survival
part of
of
the
Well, Return of the Living Dead was Dan O'Bannon, who has a very different sensibility from Romero.
and changed the zombies quite a bit, made them a little faster and the ability to talk and all that shit.
But they're no zombies like Dead Alive zombies.
Yeah.
No.
That get turned into piles of oatmeal and arms.
Well, and it was all created by a rat thing, which is completely different.
Right, the Sumatran rat monkey is a whole thing into itself.
We've just gotten to what is generally agreed upon to be the bloodiest, goriest scene ever filmed in a movie.
Oh my god.
Ever.
And that's saying something
the lawnmower
because
scene.
the Evil Dead remake.
Well, and that's the thing, is there is...
it does rain blood in that movie.
Right. I think the Evil Dead remake currently holds the record.
Like the most blood used?
So, you're right.
Well, there's a lot of dismemberment.
This is actually like just taking apart zombies and like flinging it like that. Like
I would say this is the most. This is the most gore.
This is the most carnage.
I will.
Gore.
I will stand by the fact that this is the goriest movie ever fucking made.
Yeah.
It's amazing and beautiful.
Well,
I think they have just the most blood used,
and it's this is the quality of gore too. Everything in this movie is this thick, revolting, pussy.
Oh, it's so gross.
Like
it all looks like red oatmeal and cream of wheat.
Oh, it's just nasty to even look at, but also funny at the same time.
Yes, because it's so disgustingly over the top.
Right,
It's hysterical.
right, exactly.
And look at it's just like that they are standing right off camera and they are just throwing
this
buckets
shit, right?
of whatever the fuck this stuff is at Lionel, and poor Lionel's like,
I don't like this. I do not like the.
Oh, it's like
That's
it's from The Thing.
really
it's like
upsetting.
doesn't it look like something out of The Thing?
It's total body horror.
Yeah, it is very unnerving.
If you look closely, you can see the string that he's on.
You don't even have to look close.
No, you don't even have to.
If you look at it with an eyeball.
Like when this is
this movie.
When this is redone in 2K, it's going to be very apparent.
Yeah.
But it's a glorious end to Uncle Les, because he is the worst.
Such a
He
piece
is
of shit.
fucking awful.
He effectively dooms all these people to death.
Since we're talking about 2K remasters of incredible classic movies, real quick, I think we need to put over our May commentary.
Fuck yes. Absolutely.
A 4K remaster of the Andy Sedaris classic Malibu Express. This will be, even though Malibu Express came out before Hard Ticket to Hawaii, this will be our sequel to our Hard Ticket to Hawaii commentary.
Absolutely. And there's no movie more deserving of the 4K treatment.
Sure. Absolutely.
I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
But, for the listeners, April 16th, Hard Ticket to Hawaii and Malibu Express are being released by Mill Creek Entertainment. Glorious 4K remasters, although they're just on Blu-ray. They're not on 4K. but they're 4K remasters.
I'm glad because I don't have a 4K player.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh, it's so thick.
It's great though. I love the way that was done. Like,
spraying
it just
out of there.
looks so good.
I love the fact that they had the actor fall through the
Right. They're
Yes.
pulling him down, and it just looks
And
great.
they just
The way they
thick
move
shit.
it. I mean, it looks like it would look if some rockabilly scumbag was getting eaten up by a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And this is like the most iconic
this
moment.
is great, yeah.
There's so many
That's
parts of this movie
This
that I'm
is
like,
my
this is my
favorite moment.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the part that grosses me out the most, but it's just it's my
It's-
favorite.
Yeah, it's over the top,
It's
ridiculous.
iconic,
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense, but who cares because look at it. And I would love to see some behind
Would
the
you
scenes.
just look at it?
Just look at it.
Would you just
Look at it. It's not as glorious as an old man's butthole.
What is?
But, right. I would love to see some behind the scenes, just like candid
this moment.
pictures.
Where he makes eye contact with the butthole.
And the butthole's like,
And
please,
it's like, no, please,
don't
sir.
hurt me,
Please,
sir.
Sorry.
I just want to see that string of goo. And he's like, fuck you, butthole.
If I had a dime for every time I heard that.
But I want to see the actress just standing around with that mask. Because that's just like a head
yeah.
thing she just put on. I want to see her just standing around like smoking a cigarette through that mask.
Oh, that would be unnerving. Oh.
Oh, here we go.
And Mom just takes the cake.
I got to tell you guys, back in the day, when I first saw this, I was not a fan of this. I thought the mom looked it was too much for me at the time. I was like, this is some like goofy green jelly shit. I'm waiting for her to start singing Three Little Pigs.
Little pig, let me in.
I can't even with this.
Even as bad as it is, still better than the final villain from the Howard the Duck movie.
Still better than the final villain from Suicide Squad.
Wilson gave
Sorry, I like
me...
that movie, but I hate the final villain.
Wilson gave me Howard the Duck on Blu-ray, and I haven't even unwrapped it.
It's not good.
I know.
I don't even remember.
Wilson's a weird guy.
Wait, what movie?
Howard
the Duck.
I don't remember the final villain from that.
That's the perfect response to
Yeah.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the principal from Ferris Bueller, or the vice principal from Ferris Bueller. That's the main villain.
That guy.
And he gets mutated, and I just remember being
Weird.
so dumb.
Yeah, that guy.
Didn't he do creepy things?
Yeah, he's one of the Hollywood pedo people.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Which
God.
sucks because he was in so many good movies.
Beetlejuice, yeah.
You just have to, separate it.
Yeah, you do. Well, my deal with that is as long as they weren't, the main creative driving force,
Yeah.
I can kind of get past it.
Yeah.
Or, one of the main stars. I can't watch Mom and Dad Save the World anymore because he's, one of the main characters in that.
Yeah.
He may still be getting a payday if you...
Ferris
rent it.
Bueller, Beetlejuice, other
Yeah,
stuff,
he's a co-star.
I can deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's still gross, and I hate it.
It is.
Alright, so now he's dealing with his mommy issues.
Yeah, I think she looks pretty awesome.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
now I love it.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand,
No,
when I
yeah,
first
yeah.
saw this movie, I was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
And I had to, think a certain way about things. And when this giant Sid and Marty Krofft titty zombie pops up out of the ground, I've got to be like, yeah, that looks kind of corny.
Well, she's very Meet the Feebles.
Very Meet the Feebles, very Gwar stage show,
Yeah.
That
She
aesthetic.
looks like a Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
A sexy Skeksis.
Yeah, only if you did a lot of acid and then watch the Dark Crystal and we're thinking about floppy tits.
I'm a little
At the same
surprised that Peter Jackson had the restraint to not have some sort of nipple ejection
Yeah.
with this. You'd
Nipple
think
ejection.
at the very
the
least.
nipples just come off.
Yeah,
They
well-
eject.
Well, no, spray.
Yeah.
You'd think at least they would be leaking,
The whole time.
pus.
Like leaky sprinklers.
But I'm I'm impressed that he had that amount of restraint.
I'm
or
surprised,
maybe
like,
he just didn't think of it.
Doo-doo's not coming out of her butt and, like, everything. Like,
Doo-doo butt.
I mean, it will.
Oh, and then
there
her
it
face
goes.
starts sliding
Falls
off. Oh.
God, look at her
the
boobs.
tits do kind of like paper mache.
Right. It's a little...
It is.
It's, yeah. But then we get this,
Which is awesome.
which is incredible.
Yeah.
And my gosh, as much gore as we saw down in the foyer,
It just gets worse.
this is even more insane, I
Yeah.
think. Though what's funny to me is, like, that
Gallons.
opened up and sucked him in, no problem. But now, just because he's cutting his way out, it's blood all over the place.
Yeah.
But I love how she
But it's
falls
okay.
and like her butt's kind of
Yeah.
sticking out for a minute. It's like really
It's
ridiculous.
very Donkey Kong.
Yeah. And then he's just like, it's this weird.
Oh, gosh,
he's like
that is
reborn as a man
just-
and not as just like a mama's boy.
Oh, it's so
It's
repulsive,
wonderful.
though. But there it is, the New Zealand pants belt that was teased earlier. It's like Chekhov's pants belt.
Yeah.
It's teased earlier in the movie, and you're like, man, what's he going to do with that belt? That's got to come into play at
Has
some
to.
point.
Has to. I knew it immediately.
Later on, he's totally, like, sliding down. What's that? What is the South Park episode where they're sliding?
Zip line?
Huh?
I mean, it's a zip line.
Zip line.
Yeah.
Zip line. He's totally doing the
South
zip
Park
line.
invent zip lines?
I think
Yeah, they did a South Park episode about zip lines, and it's fucking hilarious. I mean, pretty much every South Park episode is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah, there's one about zip lining.
I've been watching the new season, and it's fucking hysterical. And I'm like, damn, they haven't lost it. They haven't
Well, and
lost
that's the thing is, like, every couple of years you're like, man, this show's gotten
I
kind of
stopped
old.
watching for a while.
But then you go back and you're like, this is still funny as shit.
It
Why
is.
did I stop watching it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're at the end of the movie. We've got the sweet ending. They're going to kiss. Everything's great. Get rid of the medallion
Which
because
could
you're
have
not.
led to a sequel.
You're totally not going to need it for Dead Alive 2.
Yeah.
No.
Because now the director has gone on to much bigger, fancier things. So we'll go around. Ryan, nastiest thing in the movie.
I think the grandmother or his mom's arm pus going into the guy's pudding and then him eating it, that bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah. That's
And then
horrible.
he's describing how creamy it is.
Ugh.
Red Ranger,
all the pudding. Just the whole pudding scene.
the whole pudding scene.
Just that. I can't watch it. I can't. I just. Ugh.
I gotta say, I think for me, the thing that I hate the teeth. I hate when they're pulling the
Teeth
teeth
really
out.
bother me.
But that first shot of her pulsating arm wound
Yeah.
is just horrible. I mean, that the bulbous pulsating. Oh, it's gross. Nicole, this is your pick. You get to close it out.
Well, since Ryan said the
No pudding! No pudding! There it is.
Okay, so the moment when she wakes up the first morning when she's fucked up, and she touches the bandage and sprays pink frothy custard across her dead husband's photograph.
Yeah.
That's the first moment in the movie. Like, I remember watching it for the first time when I was like, ah!
Right.
So I think
It's too
that's
much.
like, but there's so many. There's all the ones that you guys said, plus that, plus.
Well, the rat monkey skull getting crushed.
Yeah.
Her body. Yes, Sumatra and rat monkey. What is your? Oh yeah, that was disgusting. Ew. Yeah, good call. When they're filling her with the embalming fluid and it just starts.
Yeah.
Even though that's not
But, like,
bodily fluids.
To me, like, all
It's
those
more like
parts are, like,
bodily,
awesome
like,
and
weird.
funny and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, the squirting pus moments are when I'm like, oh.
Well, that's kind of where the movie says, "Buckle up.
Yeah.
It's about to get bad."
Shit's
Yeah.
about to get
Right.
wild.
And it's like, the movie, it amps up to crazy. And then it amps up to crazy. And then it amps up. And then it amps up. And, like, it does that so many times. All culminating to, like, the lawnmower scene. And then this scene where he fucking falls back into his mother's womb.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, it never stops. This
It's
movie
relentless.
Never, ever lets up. It starts off with that moment where she sprays goo on her husband's picture. and then it ends at the credits.
Yeah.
And, like, that's it. It never fucking stops. It's amazing.
Red Ranger, now that you've sat down and enjoyed this movie in its entirety, seen the whole thing, where do you see it in kind of the horror hall of fame? Like, what level of horror film is this? Is it straight up just legendary, or is it just a benchmark?
No, I think I'd put up there with legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wears its influences on its sleeve, but in the best possible way.
Sure.
Like, there are just some straight up, Romero moments and then Evil Dead moments that, the bursting through walls and shit. You're like, okay, yeah, that looks a lot like what I've seen, but it's done with care and done in a new way. And it's
so much style.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not just it's not boring. It's definitely not boring. Yeah, I would say this one is, I think without stuff like this, you don't get Shaun of the Dead, and you don't get some of the, and in the Apocalypse that I liked last year, you don't get movies like that at all.
Yeah.
Without this.
Yeah, this has influenced a lot, even though nothing has ever equaled its craziness.
Yeah.
It's touched a lot of things. Ryan, I mean, is there anything that even comes close to this as far as just being crazy gorefest?
I would say the Evil Dead remake is probably the only one that I can remember that gives me that same feeling where it's like, it's really good, but it's also like almost like a gore exposition, oh, what can they do next to top that? And they keep ramping it up the whole time, and I would say not many movies give you that, because it's this weird line, because this isn't gore porn, this is torture porn. But, you're also I wonder how this guy's going to die. But it's, cool and it makes sense in the story. And the Evil Dead remake gave me that feeling, too.
It's like the serious version of this.
Yeah, it is.
It's excessive, it's over the top, it's insane.
Sawing off her fucking arm.
But it doesn't have the comedy that
But it doesn't have the comedy, yeah. But that's the only thing I could compare it to as far as, that gives me the same feeling. It is legendary. It's a fucking great movie. I mean, I've loved this since I was a kid.
And this is pretty much I could watch this again next week.
Yeah.
I could watch this. There's no cooling off period for it.
There's never a time when I'm going to be like, nah, I don't want to watch that. I just realized how much Dead Snow was influenced by this movie. You guys remember Dead Snow?
Oh, Dead Snow, the movie with the Blumpkin.
Yeah, the Blumpkin movie.
Yes.
Yeah, they have the part
Blumpkin
where he goes rappelling on the dude's intestines.
Oh, God.
It's funny. I have it.
Okay.
And the Blumpkin scene, if you don't know, a Blumpkin is when you're getting a blowjob while you're having a poo.
Yeah.
And the guy is...
Having a poo.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on, or was on Netflix at one point.
I would say...
Dead Snow was solid. It was good.
Film, but it's not, definitely not.
It's probably not.
No, I'm sure.
But it's the first one I saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that was Dead Alive. Red Ranger, where can we find you online? What are you up to?
The Red Ranger on Instagram and Theme Park Alchemy on Instagram and themeparkalchemy.com.
And like me, you are becoming addicted to Transformers in a bad way.
Fuck. I just got the movie series Optimus Prime. He came in
the
yesterday.
Bumblebee one?
Yeah. He's
I don't have it yet.
So fucking good.
Oh, man. Ugh.
So good.
Nicole, where can we find you online?
Battle Cougar on Instagram. Caught Dead Watching is about to come back for, we're going to call it Season 2.
Can you tease something that's almost kind of related to what we just watched? Or do you want to wait?
Well, because that's not going to be the return episode.
Okay,
It's going to be one
okay.
before that.
Okay.
So,
But there is a tease.
There's going to be a Peter Jackson very, very soon. Also, I want to say that I really am excited that I finally got to do my pick, and I'm so happy that you guys put up with me picking a chick flick. All this time.
It is. It's basically a rom-com.
Yeah,
It is.
I really had to bring the feminine influence to the Needless Commentary and pick a chick flick. So thank you guys for letting me do that. I mean, it really hit me in. You call it the feels? Is that what you call it? Yes, the feels.
We enjoyed our tea. It was like a tea party.
Next time, Gadget.
No, next time when we're doing my pick for my birthday.
It's a dude.
No, yeah, we're doing Sleepless in Seattle, someone with some balls to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna make it Make it really masculine.
Gosh, you just actually, like, for real bummed me out.
Malibu Express.
Even bringing that movie up.
Malibu Express.
Malibu Express in May.
Hell yeah.
So everybody pre-order your copy right now on Amazon.
If you don't, you're already a bitch.
Yeah, you're a bitch, and you should never be allowed in America.
Yeah, you should be allowed to drive race cars and have your shirt off.
You should be exported right now. Ryan Cadaver, what are you doing?
Stuff, lots of stuff.
Things and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Cast Creature Shows kind of slowed down, but that's intentional because we're working on a movie called Joe Striker. So that will be coming out at some point in the summer. Joe Striker! There's some news that I got pretty soon of some screenings this summer, so it should be cool. I hope the movie doesn't suck because I'm already setting up screenings, so we'll see. But yeah, Joe Striker, follow that on Instagrams and everything, and then Theme Park Alchemy and the Cast Creatures. That's pretty much it.
Oh,
what is the Theme Park Alchemy theme song?
Theme Park Alchemy.
Excellent.
That's all I got.
That's all we need.
Best theme song ever.
That special little treat you heard was a band called The Last Chucks with their song Dead Alive, appropriately enough. If you didn't pick that up from the chorus, they're a local Atlanta band that existed years ago, and as far as I know, don't anymore. I got their CD, which is great, by the way. Like, if you enjoyed that, you would enjoy their whole entire CD. It's called Zombie High, and a friend of mine, the oft-referenced Jeff Astopheles, or at least on the old Needless Things, before time and things happened. But he gave me this CD. It was like some neighbors of his or something like that, and he was like, "I think you'll like this. Check it out." And I loved it. And by the time I got back to him to let him know how good I thought it was, he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't think they even play anymore." And I'm talking, this was probably a couple months between him giving me the CD and me running into him again to talk to him about it, because this was pre-Facebook, so I wasn't as in contact or wasn't as superficially in contact with people as I am now. But anyway, The Last Chucks, Zombie High. Maybe you can Google it and find something. Maybe you can't. But I'm happy to have the album. It's one of those special gems in my collection that I know not everybody has. And that song is great. Let's see. Next week, it is finally time, you guys, for the Katana review with Victoria's Cantina. It's awesome. We have a great time talking Star Wars and specifically talking about Jabba's Sail Barge, the immense new toy from Hasbro. And then, just stay tuned. NeedlessThingsPodcast.com, OldNeedlessThings.com, and wherever else. I love you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Needless Things Podcast. You're the best. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Downcast, or in the ears of a Trader Vic's employee. Love you. Mean it. Uh-huh.